Annie and Clarabel are both coaches on the island of Sodor, and normally they are both brilliant and very good coaches, and they can always that they will still be in Thomas's branch line, and they can always love Thomas the very, very good way, but they can always be pulled by Thomas. But when both Molly and Dennis came to the railway, since Thomas still had them, Annie and Clarabel always keep getting pulled by Molly all the time while Thomas isn't feeling very well, while he isn't or anything like that, and they don't really like Molly at all and want Thomas back. And one day Emily came into the yard. She was in a very angry mood, and she spoke severely to Annie and Clarabel. "Ugh," she said, "here we go again." "What do you mean?" asked Annie and Clarabel. "I always have to pull you, but you're always being a nuisance all the time, you stupid clumsy coaches," she said. "Well then, thank you," said Annie and Clarabel. "Well, that's what sarcasm is." "Well, I know," said Molly, "but I don't like you. You two, and I wish the Fat Controller will give me a coach to pull." "Well, that's not nice," said Annie and Clarabel. "I know what isn't nice," said Molly, and so she banged them hard, really harder and harder. Really harder and harder. "Ow, ow, ow!" screamed Annie and Clarabel, and this made Molly that really angry. "I hope this will teach you two a lesson," said Molly, and then Molly puffed away. And poor Annie and Clarabel were feeling sad about it. While they were thinking thoughts to themselves, Wilhelmina felt sorry for them, and she told them that she'd seen it all. They were coach abusing us, said Annie and Clarabel. "That is terrible," said Wilhelmina, "because besides, you and she are not getting on really well all the time," she said. "You're right," said Annie and Clarabel. "She's mean to me, isn't she?" You're right, said Wilhelmina, "because she's always coach abusing you two at all," she said. "Well," said Annie and Clarabel, she's always that mean to me all the time, mean to us all the time," said Annie and Clarabel. "I know," said Wilhelmina. "I'll tell Scarlowy about it. I hope he will tell the Fat Controller." "I hope so," said Annie and Clarabel. But when Scarlowy came back, Wilhelmina told Scarlowy the story. "That's not good," said Scarlowy. "I'll tell the Fat Controller about it now." He saw Oliver and told Oliver about it, who told Hank about it, and who told the Fat Controller about it. The Fat Controller was displeased. "Oh, said the Fat Controller. "Well, seems to me that these two are not going on really well," he went on. You're right, said Scarlowy. And besides, while they are arguing, we're going to sneak up on the processing duel until it works. This will be good," said the Fat Controller, and they were now on ready to sneak on this argument between Annie and Clarabel while they were trying to sneak in this process at all. And they were. afternoon, Molly was pulling Annie and Clarabel and was now on ready. They made it through the upper tunnel, and there they were, under the metal bridge. "All right then," said Molly. "Now you two help me up this hill until it takes me to the bridge." "Well, but we are coaches," said Annie and Clarabel. "We're not supposed to help." Molly didn't care. "All right then," said Molly. She did it. She did everything about it. She tried to go up, but slid down. "Oh," she said, "why aren't you two helping me, you stupid coaches?" "Don't call us that," said the coaches. "Well, stop it then," she said. "Well, we're coaches, we're not supposed to help," they said. Molly tried again, but came down again. "That's it," she said. "I'm going to bump you." And then Molly herself was now uncoupled to Annie and Clarabel. Wait, said Annie and Clarabel. "Help! Help!" they said. When Molly was about to push them and bang them off the rails, Rosie came in just in time, and popped out of her was the Fat Controller. "Molly," he said, "stop this instance right now." "The Fat Controller?" said Molly. "Huh? Molly," said the Fat Controller, "I'm disappointed in you, and I've seen it all. I wish you will stop torturing Annie and Clarabel all the time, and that's not a good influence in my railway." "I'm sorry, sir," said Molly. "You better be," said the Fat Controller, "because now you're really upsetting us all." "Well, I didn't mean it," said Molly. "You did," said the Fat Controller, "and you're the most naughty engines in my railway, and I cannot afford it on it. And I cannot afford it. And I cannot afford it. And I cannot afford your attitude to act like that. He said. "But I'm sorry, sir," said Molly. "It doesn't make it better," said the Fat Controller. "But now," he said, "while Thomas is feeling poorly, he said to Annie and Clarabel, "I'll be bringing a new engine to pull you both." "Hooray!" said Annie and Clarabel. "Thank you." "You're welcome," said the Fat Controller. "And what coach can I pull?" said Molly. "Oh, you're pulling a coach called Trucks." "Trucks?" she said. "I never heard of a coach called Trucks before." "Sir," said Rosie, "I don't think she gets it." "Oh," said the Fat Controller. "Besides, you're pulling trucks for the rest of the days." "What?" said Molly. "Disgusting! It's not fair." "It is fair," said the Fat Controller. Now this will teach you a lesson to stop torturing Annie and Clarabel ever again," he said. "Sorry," said Molly. And so the Fat Controller told Molly to take Annie and Clarabel back to the siding, so that Rosie will pick them up tonight. But at night time, Molly puffed into the sheds, feeling really glum and sad. She really had a terrible grand time at all, and even the Fat Controller and Rosie realised that it taught Molly a very good lesson at all to not coach abusing Annie and Clarabel.